As most of you know, Sylvester Stallone is hard at work getting Expendables 3 ready to enter AMC theaters everywhere on August 15th, 2014. Coming along with the regular Expendables crew are names like Jackie Chan, Wesley Snipes, and Nick Cage. Yes! And now, according to a tweet from Stallone, we may know who our villain is. Stallone recently tweeted out the following: Mad Max versus Barney Ross. As you know, Barney Ross is the name of Stallone's character in The Expendables. Dennis, is Stallone hinting at Mel Gibson as the villain in Expendables 3? And if so, what would you think about that?
Oh, he's definitely hinting at that. I mean,
That's not hinting.
Yeah. I mean, it's been reported for a long time that he's been trying to get Mel Gibson into this franchise. I think he tried to get him to direct it, and he wanted him to be in it. And so now I think maybe they finally came to some sort of deal. As in terms of Mel Gibson being in the movie, it's interesting because, you know, he's a controversial figure, to put it mildly, and some people may object to him being in a big budget movie like this, and others may be, you know, excited to see him in a role like this, and maybe even people who don't like him may be like, okay, well, he's the villain, at least I get to see him get beat up and killed, possibly, you know. So I don't know. I think it's fine. I think it's, you know, another step, you know, if you're including Jackie Chan and Nicolas Cage and Wesley Snipes, why not Mel Gibson?
I'll go one step further. I think, not only do I think why not, I think this is genius. I think it's absolute genius. Now, I'm one of these guys who, look, it's kind of become irrefutable that Mel Gibson is a jerk. Okay, and maybe he believes some really, you know, bad things, maybe. I mean, I'm not going to judge the guy. But even if that's the case, the reality is, in our society, like with professional athletes, dudes can rape girls and we let them off the hook and let it go. Dudes can kill people with DUIs and we let them off the hook. I mean, we shouldn't, and all those types of things. Mel Gibson really is just a jerk. I mean, if you are to believe everything that he's being accused of and what he is, and you know, he's never gone out and murdered anybody from what we know. He's never gone out, you know, and dealt drugs to children or anything like that. With that being the case, the fact of the matter is he is one hell of an actor. He is a hell of a talent, and I think this is genius on two separate levels. Number one, for Expendables, because I think having a Mel Gibson bad guy is a very, very good idea. I think it gives them really a neat marketing point for the film. But on the other hand, I think this is a great move for Mel Gibson. I mean, look, what was the best thing? Remember when everybody started to turn against Tom Cruise because he had his little crazy flip out time, jumping up and down on Oprah's couch and all that kind of stuff, and everybody really started to turn against him. Well, what was the best thing? What did he do that saved his career?
Tropic Thunder.
Exactly. He did Tropic Thunder, where he played this really kind of psycho, out-of-touch character, and he kind of played into it and embraced it. And when he did that, and he said to the world, look, I'm kind of acknowledging my own psychoness a bit here, and I'm going to laugh at it, and hopefully you'll laugh along with me. And the audience did. We laughed along with him. And suddenly, like overnight, Tom Cruise was accepted again. Personally, I'm glad about that because he's too good of a talent in Hollywood to not have in a lot of films. And I suspect, now I'm not saying it will happen, but I suspect that the potential is there if Mel Gibson plays a really crazy, psychotic kind of villain, and they even play into some of the traits in the villain that he's accused of having himself. We not to the degree that Tom Cruise's career has turned around, but I think we could possibly see a little bit of a renaissance and a resurgence in the career of Mel Gibson. Dennis, am I out to lunch thinking that, or do you think the possibility exists?
There's a possibility, definitely not as significant as Tom Cruise, because Mel Gibson did something way worse, and
True.
it's not. I mean, he's accused of stuff, but you can hear the things that he said on tape. So I don't think it's a question that he said these things.
Oh, no, not at all.
It's a question of more what kind of mental state I don't know. He just doesn't seem, I don't know, all there. He may be an alcoholic or a drug user, you know what I mean? So that's kind of the thing where people don't understand where maybe he is kind of, I don't know, a little out there. But Yeah, I could see it happening. Not as much as how Tom Cruise was able to rebound, though.
Yeah, I just think sometimes to a fault, sometimes to a real fault, I think our society and culture kind of loves the fact that we're into giving second and third chances. We do it with celebrities all the time, and sometimes we shouldn't. And I got a feeling we might get... Let me ask you this, Clark.
Yes.
Tomorrow, Expendables 3 opens. Mel Gibson's the villain. Are you intrigued to run out and see it?
I am. I don't. All I'll say, and I'm more intrigued with Nicolas Cage, as you all know, because I love it when he's crazy and in action movies. I have a dog in this fight. Personally, some of the things Mel Gibson has said offends me personally. So,
all of us. Offends all of us, yeah.
Right, yeah. So, but anyway, that being said, so I am intrigued by it. And, it upsets me that, because I was such a big fan of Mel Gibson's, before some of this shenanigans happen. So I would be totally intrigued by this, and I'm sure that 95% of America that don't have a personal stake in it will be intrigued by it, and so I am intrigued by it. I probably won't go see it though, just for my own personal reasons. But I think it's inspired casting, if you don't mind. The things that come along with having Mel Gibson.
The baggage that comes along with it.
Exactly
I mean, look, here's the thing. I got burned by Gibson really badly because I remember when the first incident happened with him. Remember he made those anti-Semitic slurs when he was being arrested and he was drunk.
Yeah.
I stood up for the dude. I was like, hey, look, let's not paint an entire guy's character by something he says while smashed out of his head and obviously, irritated and being confronted by a cop. Let's not paint out. And at the time, all these, Jewish business partners of his were coming to his side and saying, no, he's not like that. So I stood up and I said, hey, guys, let's cut good old Mel Gibson a break. And then the jackass did it again.
Yeah.
And made me look like an idiot, and everybody who stood up for him looked like an idiot. But I gotta admit, I am a sucker for redemption stories. Like, I always talk, my favorite literary character is Boromir in Lord of the Rings. Always has been. Why? Because he's a guy who at the end was able to be redeemed. There's something I love about redemption stories, especially in real life. So as much as he's burned me, as much as he's offended me, as much as the stupidity that he has said and done, there's still always going to be this part of me that hopes to see a redemption story at the end of the story. Maybe I'm dreaming, but
and he's acknowledged he's sick. He's acknowledged he's an addict. You know what I mean? And so hopefully he will get better. You know what I mean? I hope for that. I just still probably personally need a little bit more time, but I think it's great casting.
Yeah.
If you like this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and we bring you all the latest movie news as well as our daily AMC Movie Talk Show. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter, where you can find out about all the latest prizes, giveaways, and special contests.